Oregon State won the toss and wanted the football. 17th ranked Oregon kicking off in the shadows. And Victor Bolden will down it, so it is a touchback. Ryan Nall in the backfield. And he gets the carry up across the 32-yard line from Sandy, Oregon in Central Catholic. We will see Seth Collins, some at quarterback, some at receiver, as Nall experiencing his first Civil War and try and play keep away from Vernon Adams and that Oregon offense. On 3rd and 3. McMarion looks to throw. Can he get the first down? Reaching across. DeForest Buckner making the stop right at what looks like the 35-yard line.
It looks like McMarion here wants to go to the boundary and throw a slant route. And one thing these young quarterbacks have all been able to do throughout the course of the season is be mobile. And once he loses number 1, he tries to get the yards. And
now in motion to the bottom of your screen. McMarion with time. Fires and caught. Up across the 42, Jordan Villeman. Seth Collins checks in, takes the direct snap, and runs for the first down and across midfield. Ryan Nall back in the backfield after an 8-yard pickup. McMarion wanted to go to Nall and now has to scramble and gets inside the 45-yard line. That's Nall who gets outside. Inside the 35-yard line. It's another Oregon State first down. Ryan Nall, the Swiss Army knife they call him because he can play running back, fullback. And here's a little pitch to Seth Collins, who's going to throw the football, and catch made on the sideline by Victor Bolden.
We'll take a look at the feet here, but these are the exact kind of things that happen in rivalry games. These trick plays. A great ball out to Victor Bolden, and he looks like he gets that right foot in before he hits the ground, secures the catch. That's going to be a first down in Oregon territory.
44th catch of the year for Victor Bolden. He's been averaging 10 yards a grab. Marcus McMarion is back in, and Nall the handoff as he's thrown down inside the 3-yard line. He has the football, and he's got a touchdown, Oregon State.
Well, once again, Chris, using a number of different guys. On this replay, you'll see them bring Victor Bolden on a jet sweep to create a little bit of misdirection, allowing Seth Collins to get up the middle. You're going to see him in so many different capacities today.
Garrett Owens with the extra point.
Given his athletic ability and how much he means to this offense.
Garrett Owens with the short kick, and it's Charles Nelson, and the ball comes out. Nelson looks like they were able to maintain possession here, even though the ball came out.
That ball comes loose. It's a question of whether or not the Oregon State player was already out of bounds by the time he attempted to possess the football. And it appears that he was out of bounds. This ball's going to stick with Oregon.
And an offense that, Evan Moore, you talked about behind the way. You don't really stop Vernon Adams. You just try to redirect him. And here he hands off to Royce Freeman.
Fittingly on the first play, they're going to look to run the football. And on the Oregon State side, Kyle Pecco is going to be big for them as they try to plug this Oregon running game.
Dwayne Stanford, second on the team in catches, makes a grab, and it'll bring up third down. See a little bit of the pushing and shoving. On 3rd down and 2 from the Oregon 30. Freeman into the crowd.
Given the season they've had, it's clear this game means a lot to them. They get up and try to plug that hole that Royce Freeman tries to push through.
He got the first down.
He is a powerful 230-pound stud in the backfield, and he shows it right there.
Adams. Stanford has it up near midfield. The 48 of Oregon made it look easy.
It's pick your poison for Vernon Adams. So many weapons on the outside to work with.
Mark Helfrich in his 3rd season as Freeman goes toward the sideline and tries to get another Oregon first down.
On that one, we see a great example, too, of this wide receiving core and how important it is for them to get their perimeter blocking. On that one, Darren Carrington on the outside. You're going to see as he gets outside, Darren Carrington right there getting his block. It's what these receivers are asked to do every play.
isn't the call if you don't block, you don't play.
That's
even
correct.
if you're a receiver. That's
Scott Frost, offensive coordinator, made that very clear.
Adams open. It's Stanford again. His third catch on this drive, but he's still going. Inside the 20 of Oregon State.
Is Vernon Adams' ability to be accurate and deliver the ball down the field. When he had a broken finger, I'm not sure that everyone realized how good of a passer he really is. And now that he's healthy, we're seeing that on full display.
And a quick snap as Carrington gets the football.
Illegal substitution, 12 players on the field. Defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Communication is key on that Oregon State sideline with as quickly as this Oregon offense moves.
Freeman has, it's Braylon Addison, excuse me, running the other way. And Braylon Addison is in the end zone and touchdown Oregon.
Just a great example of the versatility of this Oregon offense. The Oregon State defense reads this play well. They essentially shut it down, but can't account for the cutback. And Braylon Addison, probably the most versatile weapon on this Oregon offense. He can do so many different things.
His second rushing touchdown of this season. From the end zone, it's Oldham. And brought down across the 17.5-yard line. Ryan Nall in the backfield for McMarion. From the 17, Nall looking for a place to go. And maybe a yard. It's Ryan Nall. And nothing. Try and play keep away on 3rd and 7. That's Nall splitting out as a receiver. McMarion. And incomplete. Mondo with the tipped and the deflection.
One thing you always want your defensive lineman to do when Oregon State's looking to get the ball out quick is get those hands up in throwing lanes, and that's
fair catch waved for, and at the 42 of Oregon, Taj Griffin checks into the backfield. It was mostly Royce Freeman on that first touchdown drive for Vernon Adams on the ground. This pass complete to Addison, who had the touchdown run, and he gets up near midfield. Vernon Adams with plenty of time and heaving it downfield. And it's Addison again, catch made.
You notice there, Chris, what made that play go was the protection up front. He gets a lot of time to stand there and find his second read. You see right there what Vernon Adams has become very good at is shuffling in the pocket and keeping his eyes downfield when number 1 isn't open and moving on to his second and third read, that time for a big gain.
Gain of 25 and going for it all in the end zone, and it floated. Did he catch it? No, out of bounds. Fakes to Addison, and Vernon is going to keep Adams knocked down at about the 23-yard line. 3rd down at 7. Ball's bouncing around. What a play by Adams just to come up with it. Flips to Freeman, and it's incomplete. Aiden Schneider, 19 of 20 field goals this year from 39 yards away to give the Ducks the lead. It's not going to make it.
A game like this.
And it's Seth Collins on the move across the 25 of Oregon State. And McMarion's throw is intercepted. Midfield, it's a takeaway, and Charles Nelson.
Well, Charles Nelson, such a valuable guy on both sides of the ball. He's essentially playing center field here, and he's going to read the quarterback's eyes. And as a rookie mistake, McMarion stares down his receiver just a little too long and overthrows him. And Charles Nelson is there. And Chris, all week long, we talked about how valuable Charles Nelson is. He's such a great player.
Ducks miss a field goal, but then get the takeaway. And Royce Freeman, here's a whistle and a flag before that play got going.
False start, 62 offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Back up to the Oregon 47. Adams has it. He'll pitch it. That's Braylon Addison, who's Dragged down by his shirt before he went out of bounds. It's all the way around to the 43 of Oregon State.
Once again, creating a little bit of misdirection, getting the ball out to Braylon Addison, and credit the Oregon State defense. They're going to have to make tackles out in space because this is what this Oregon offense tries to do.
Quick snap. Adams, can he get away? He does from one and goes out of bounds with a first down.
He's out in space, which is very, very tough to do against the Oregon offense.
Vernon Adams, and it's knocked away. An excellent defensive play.
Vernon Adams trying to thread the needle a little bit down the seam, throwing a seam route to his receiver.
Adam Sussman.
Sussman getting back just enough to get a hand on it.
Griffin in. And because of injury at linebacker for Oregon State, they've had to mix and match. And this is Adams that keeps and goes nowhere. On 3rd down and 10. Adams is going to get rid of it. And catch made. What a play to Darren Carrington.
When you get enough pressure and you're able to get in front of Vernon Adams, you've got to bring him down because those eyes are going to continue to stay downfield. And if he finds open guys, he's shown he has the ability to let it go. But this Oregon State defense has not been able to get pressure on the passer enough this year. And they do it right there. They just got to get him down and not allow him to find guys late in the downs because these receivers are too dangerous down the field.
Adams 5'11" and 200 pounds, but hung tough to slip that tackle and complete the pass as Griffin carries. It was a gain of 18. Oregon 2 and 3 during that stretch. As Griffin carries, and Griffin is in the end zone. Touchdown.
As you see here, they give him a chance to get out in space. Taj Griffin's such a dynamic guy in the open field. Just gives him enough of a stutter step to avoid the tackle and march into the end zone.
The freshman from Powder Springs, Georgia, after the extra points. And the Ducks leading 14-7 now, kicking off. Haskins brought down right away. McMarion under pressure and goes down. 1 out of 3. McMarion facing a 3rd down and 14. Null and Bolden in the backfield with him. And that's Bolden on the move at the receiver spot, bottom of your screen. McMarion with a moment. There's a flag down. He is hit hard.
And that pass was thrown.
Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face. Number 64. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Getting pressure, wrecking shop in that backfield. And he does just that with the bull rush. Throws the offensive lineman aside and makes a clean hit on McMarion.
Buckner at 6'7". No need to accept the penalty. The punting unit on of Oregon. And backing up to the 30. Trying to get up the sideline, get some of that back. Return up around the 39-yard line after a 51-yard punt. Adams to a wide open Jalen Brown, who is brought down at the 45-yard line. But the touchdowns today have come on the ground from Addison and Griffin. This is Freeman with a big hole. Royce Freeman slips a tackle and gets a first down around the 40 of Oregon State. It's Freeman again after he picked up 13 on the previous carry. Came in averaging over 6.5 a carry. This is Adams wide open and off the fingertips of Freeman, who could have sailed into the end zone had he been able to hang on to the sun over there in some shadows. I'm not making excuses because it was zipped to him.
Yeah, he gets on an isolation route out of the backfield. Once again, matched up with the linebacker. Just need a little bit of a touch throw there, and he's unable to do that, which certainly would have gone for 6.
And now Griffin is in, who has a touchdown run. He spins out of a tackle, and there goes Taj Griffin. Out of bounds inside the 10.
Great physical run by Tosh Griffin, a guy that's only 5'10", 175. You wouldn't expect him to be breaking too many tackles at that size, but he does just that here. Spins out of that one and shows a burst to get up the sideline. Just stepping out of bounds, otherwise that thing goes for 6.
Adams for the end zone and falls short. He has the football. And closing in on defense. Strong tackling. He hits Kyle Pecco. On 3rd and 7. Vernon Adams underneath in the middle of the field. Down to the 5. Dwayne Stanford, who in that opening drive caught all 3 of Adams' passes. Carrington in motion goes to the slot. Freeman's the back. Adams on the move. Throws back. An unusual play to Tyler Johnstone, who was the offensive lineman, and Tristan Decoud make the tackle on a weird-looking play.
Well, we call this a tackle eligible. Getting the senior and the anchor out on the edge, and the idea is to get it with nobody in his way so he can pretty much walk in, but this thing was read well by the Oregon State defense, and as good as Tyler Johnstone is, I don't think we expect him to be breaking any tackles and walking into the end zone.
Adams with time, but couldn't find anybody, and he's going to go down.
The Oregon State defense doing a great job of staying on their guys, as you'll see here. Not falling for any misdirection or two-man routes. And there's nowhere for Vernon Adams to go. And he tried to stay on his 1st, 2nd, and 3rd reads. And they got just enough pass rush at the very end to turn that into a big loss for the Oregon offense.
Addison has it, but is not going to get into the end zone. So an important stand for Oregon State. And now Schneider to try a 25-yard field goal after missing earlier. He's back on target. The Ducks have won the last 7 meetings head-to-head in this rivalry. Victor Bolden bringing it out and spins across the 20-yard line. Ryan Null waiting for in the backfield with McMarion for the handoff and gets up just short of the 25-yard line. Collins shows some speed and gets what looks to be a 1st down. He crosses through and he's got it. 1st and 10 Beavers.
Well, Chris, as we hit on early on, trying to get Seth Collins in space with a little bit of misdirection. Seth Collins is coming off a little bit of an injury, so they didn't feel comfortable putting him under center for the better part of the game, but they were going to find different ways to use him to showcase his ability.
Ryan Null the carry, but nowhere to go. On 2nd and 10. McMarion's pass juggled on the sideline, but held on to. His tight end, Noah Togiai. Let's take a closer look at the footwork.
It's like that toe barely gets in and secures the ball all the way to the ground.
McMarion with plenty of time throws high, and the ball knocked loose. Victor Bolden had his hands out, but Reggie Daniels came up. There's a flag down, and McMarion is down.
I have fouls on both teams. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 81 offense, and number 12 on the defense. Those fouls will offset. That will count as a first unsportsmanlike conduct foul for number 81 and number 12.
So Togiai and then Chris Cisa. Nick Porepsky back to punt. Braylon Addison waiting to receive. Just over 7 minutes to go here in the 1st half. Fair catch called for at the 27-yard line, and Royce Freeman battling Christian McCaffrey for the Pac-12 rushing title. There's a flag right away.
False start. Number 73 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And you wonder where Oregon would be if he were healthy from the start. Graduate senior as Freeman carries.
Unbelievable how he's commanded this offense since arriving on campus.
Quick pass to Stanford again, who's loose. Wayne Stanford, who's already had quite a few catches in this game.
There's Dwayne Stanford here running a little tunnel screen, trying to get him in space. It's kind of a compliment to their running game, throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage, allowing guys to get loose and get downfield with this speed.
21-yard gain, his 5th catch of this game. Royce Freeman the carry, and kind of methodically works his way up to the 47-yard line.
They've led the Pac-12 in rushing for several years now.
On their way to their 10th straight season of leading the Pac-12 in rushing yards as Griffin, who has a touchdown run, dances around. Kept this team from having more success in the win column. Adams with time and dumps it off. Kirk Merritt out of the 40 of Oregon State.
Oh, Chris, we see here again as he gets this ball out in the flat to Kirk Merritt. More receivers looking to get blocks down the field to spring him for a few extra yards. Just enough to give him space to get down the field. Something most quarterbacks take a very long time to figure out. He's made it second nature.
Adams fires complete. Kirk Merritt again. Kirk Merritt, end zone, touchdown Ducks. No, they're going to say he's out of bounds. Hang on. They're saying he's out of bounds inside the 10. There's a flag down as well.
Holding. Number 73 offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So the penalty backs them up, keeps them out of the end zone. Adams on the move. He's going to keep it and go out of bounds down around the 11-yard line. Might be good enough for another first down, and it is.
A little bit of a balancing act for these receivers, too, as we've referenced so many times. As Vernon Adams gets outside the pocket, he has a throw-first mentality. Watch these eyes. These eyes stay down the field. He's saying, is anyone open? The receivers have to then make a decision. Do I block or do I look for the football? On that time, they spring a block and get him some extra yards.
And Freeman met hard right away. An excellent defensive play. Kyle Pecco's been all over the field today. Second and goal. There comes a flag.
False start. Number 81 offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
If you can't harness those as this game goes on.
Adams to Royce Freeman. A lot of room to run. But he'll be stopped inside the 5.
Once again, Vernon Adams looking down the field, and this time the Oregon State offense, the Oregon State defense buys it, and everyone moves deep on this play. And once that ball is snapped, Royce Freeman leaks out in the flat, and there's just nobody there, leaving way too much room for essentially a blown coverage.
So now it's third and goal. Royce Freeman, stonewalled, and still pushing and shoving. Haven't heard a whistle yet. Touchdown! A delayed response. Somehow he worked his way through the crowd.
We were waiting for that whistle, but apparently down there on the field, those legs of Royce Freeman just keep moving and churning and moving that pile, as you see right here. That pile really never stops that gradual motion forward. And the referees smartly elect to let this play continue.
And they're going to review as they want to make sure. That's so difficult to tell as they look at every angle.
Yeah, well, the question's going to be whether or not that ball actually crossed the goal line, because they can't go back and review this thing and say that his forward progress was stopped. That's a subjective call on the field.
Well, there sounded like a whistle before the hands went up. Now, I saw a member of the Ducks offensive line give a very early signal, but of course that's a biased view. There's Johnstone, who had the catch.
Well, it's clear these officials did not step in and say the whistle was blown. They're waiting to see whether or not this ball actually crossed the goal line. And I'd say from this angle and the ones we've seen before this, it's incredibly difficult to tell.
A lot of legs and feet dancing around. Let's listen after review.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Aiden Schneider, good on extra points, 1 out of 2 on field goals today, and that one is no good. It was blocked. And it got through. Actually, it did get through, even though it was blocked. Here comes Victor Bolden for the Beavers. Gets up to the 22. Hey, if that score stands, and it stands here, Seth Collins is in a quarterback and on the run for Oregon State. Incomplete. He leads this team in rushing. And carries there. Just
huge win for their resume as they try to vie for position in that college football playoff.
Ryan Nall in the backfield blocking for Collins, who's going to have to keep. It's up across the 25-yard line. They won the last 7 head-to-head. Nick Porevsky punting to Addison, who calls for the fair catch at the 33-yard line.
This powerful rushing game for the Oregon Ducks.
Adams comes out firing, passes batted away. Adams pass. Caught by Carrington up across the 40.
To play at this level in such a short amount of time, very, very impressive.
Sideline catch made by Freeman. Gets the first down, going out of bounds. Again, Oregon with 1 timeout remaining. Once Vernon Adams has moved on after his bowl game, as Freeman carries to midfield.
Is that when Marcus Mariota was here, he played as a young guy, and they went through a period of time where they struggled to get big-time recruits because they knew Marcus Mariota was going to be the starter.
Addison goes out of bounds with a first down catch.
The future looks bright.
After a pickup of 13, Adams with time, middle of the field. Addison has it. It's going to be a touchdown, Ducks. And there's your touchdown pass today.
Well, as we said before, you're going to see a big void here in the middle of the field in a cover 2 look. And unfortunately, the linebacker doesn't get any depth. It's just a vertical route. It's a blown coverage with no depth from the linebacker. That linebacker has to bail and get back and help his safeties out. And Vernon Adams is able to see Braylon Addison and just lob it up to him for an easy 6. Way too easy, but as I said, as they spread things out, communication is key on the Oregon State defense. And they had a lapse there, and unfortunately these lapses can be very, very costly.
Aiden Schneider on. He has 62 consecutive point afters made, despite the last one being blocked by Pecco. It made it through. That one is clean, so 63 in a row for him. Getting ready to kick off with the 31-7 advantage. Bolden on the return and knocked out afterwards. On first down, McMarion back in. He's rotated with Seth Collins. A solid run by Nall. All the way up to the 35-yard line. Looks like a flag.
Holding, number 51 offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Hoping to get out of this first half with any further damage. There's nowhere to go. Ryan Nall giving it his best shot, but shoved backwards.
Really basically funneling these running backs back into the interior of the defensive line. It's made it very tough for guys like Ryan Nall to get much space. Finally got one about a play ago, but the holding call negated that.
Oregon will get the football, or at least Oregon State will be kicking off to Oregon to start the second half. But the last 7 in what they call the Civil War up here has belonged to the Oregon Ducks. Freeman averaging just under 4 yards a carry today. And Oregon State swarms to get in on him. Kyle Pecco walking off the field, injured for the moment for Oregon State. He's been their best player on defense today and much of the season as Adams throws and completes. Carrington. Here comes a flag on the back end as he gets up to the 38-yard line.
To get open.
Pass interference. Number 15 offense. 15-yard penalty. Still second down.
Second down, 22 after what turns out to be a 12-yard penalty. Adams gets away. Looking downfield to throw. Now he'll run. And Vernon Adams up to the 25-yard line. Gets a lot of that penalty yardage back.
It's so dangerous and elusive if you can't bring him down.
Royce Freeman on the reception. Gets past one defender. And then slips past another. All the way down to the 41 of Oregon State. There's a flag down, too. It came late.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 12 defense. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the play for sound.
After the whistle makes it very difficult.
Excuse me, I mean, it's Kendall Hill called for that. And he's in the wrong neighborhood to be doing that.
That's some good old-fashioned rivalry pushing going on. Let him play. Griffin
Checks him, but Kirk Merritt gets the handoff. And the freshman cut down. The ball came out, and Chappelle came up with it. That's Devin Chappelle.
The safety came up and put a big hit on Kirk Merritt.
Sussman with the hit.
Interesting way he fell, but does his left knee hit the ground? I think that ball is loose.
Yeah, I thought he might have been down, but they're ruling it on the field. Fumble recovery, and Chappelle with the takeaway. First Oregon giveaway in this game. Seth Collins at quarterback at first down after the fumble recovery. Collins gets up to the 20-yard line. Keeping him out of the end zone. Collins has the only score for Oregon State today on a run. McMarion's pass caught. Jordan Villeman, who had an early catch, hadn't done much since.
Well, as we referenced before the game, Jordan Villeman, a big NFL-type receiver, runs a 12-yard hook route, gets up the field. Some of these rhythm throws with Marcus McMarion, I like.
After a gain of 16, Victor Bolden toward the sideline, and Arion Springs running him out.
And it's really, really helped this group on the back end as they played their best ball the last 3 weeks.
Collins' pass incomplete for Bolden. Ryan Null in motion. Pass is caught and slipping a tackle. It's Villeman again, and there goes Villeman. Down to the 30 of Oregon.
He ends up getting pressure here, but elects to get rid of the ball quickly like he's supposed to his underneath crossing route. Jordan Villeman puts a couple nice moves on, gets up the field for the first down, but on 3rd and 9, there were longer passes drawn up for that play.
A gain of 33. This is the best drive for Oregon State since their opening touchdown drive, as Ryan Null gets inside the 15. McMarion hesitates and incomplete. Seth Collins hands off, and then they come the other way on the handoff to Bolden, who gets out of bounds.
Disguising Seth Collins, bringing him on the jet sweep, and then going with the reverse to Victor Bolden, who tries to outflank the defense, and he had an offensive lineman out there trying to lay a block for him, but sometimes offensive linemen trying to block secondary guys out in the open field is not a winning combination. They're able to get just enough yards.
It's Null fighting to the goal line. Seth Collins is in at quarterback here, Evan, with Ryan Null. You got to watch where he's going. He's got the football. He leaps into the air, and touchdown, Oregon State.
Just enough to create a little bit of a hole. So here comes Victor Bolden, forces that defense to stop their feet, and that time Coleman actually plays it pretty well, but Collins just wills himself into that end zone, leaping up over the top of him and showing that athleticism to reach for the touchdown.
Seth Collins is second touchdown today, 7th rushing touchdown of the season. Garrett Owens with the extra point.
Nice rebuilding that program. Trying to do the same thing here in Corvallis.
Charles Nelson from the 2-yard line. And hit hard as he gets up near the 29. Did the ball come out? Let's see. And looked like it was loose, but he's back on top of the football, so the Ducks maintain possession. Thanks for the update. Adams comes out throwing and incomplete. He's averaging 43 points a game. And a lot of it because of Adams and Freeman. Royce Freeman. All the way inside the 45 of Oregon State. That's now every game he's played. More than 100 yards from scrimmage this year.
A little misdirection play, a little counter, getting a good block from the tight end. And a nice little gap to get upfield.
And a quick snap and completion. Charles Nelson, who had the interception. You'd seen him on a return, originally a receiver, comes in on offense. That's how quickly they move. He's only 5'8", but plays with a big heart wherever they use him. This is Freeman going straight ahead.
They're a little bit of an exception to that rule here.
Adams floats one. I saw a grab. There's a penalty flag. Trying to get it to Braylon Addison, who might have had his 3rd touchdown of this game.
Pass interference, number 14 defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. That's an automatic first down.
Go back to the replay here, watching Braylon Addison get there and throwing that hand in the air. Officials might not always see the actual infraction, but when they see that hand go in the air, they figure something went down. Sometimes that can be the catalyst for the flag to actually be thrown.
Royce Freeman, the hole closed in a hurry as he is now near 80 yards on the ground. Durable, reliable, gets the football. Nowhere to go this time. She's knocked back to the 6-yard line.
And when they were 3-3, Royce Freeman was still playing exceptional football, and people just stopped talking about him. But he's continued to do that all year long, and he's worthy of any praise that comes his way from a national standpoint.
Adams keeps. It'll be 4th down.
Was clearly looking to throw on this play. Eyes are downfield. Actually, I take that back. I think that was a design quarterback draw. As his eyes went up,
the
quickly came back down.
Caught in the mix, and they're going to go for it. Vernon Adams has plenty of time. Can he find anybody? He can run it in if he wants, but he'll throw out of bounds. And gets knocked down. Coverage was very good. Ricky Ortiz got in to hit him. The throw way off target. Ryan Nall with a big hole, gets him out of the hole. And it takes 3 Ducks to bring him down across the 15-yard line at a first down.
This offensive coordinator getting Ryan Nall on the move, getting the tight end across and getting a nice cut block. That first down is so critical in this field position battle. So if you don't get this first down, it puts your defense in a really, really tough spot.
Nall as a receiver. And gets up near the 28-yard line. Arion Springs brings him down. Nall. And there goes Ryan Nall. Dragging a tackler all the way down to the 45-yard line.
It's never good when a running back gets to the secondary, but we just have a little outside zone here. And a great job blocking it up, forcing Charles Nelson to make the tackle, which he was hanging on for dear life on that one.
Helmets flying. Now, Nelson's a guy who had, what, a dozen tackles in one game at that safety spot earlier this year? For the freshman Ryan Nall, wearing number 34. This time McMarion to throw for Bolden. Coverage good.
Pass interference, number 14 on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. That's an automatic first down.
McMarion on the move. If he can turn the corner, he's got a little bit of room. He goes out of bounds around the 27-yard line.
After the play, dead ball personal foul, number 50 of the offense. 15-yard penalty, second down.
Back-breaking penalty. McMarion to throw, and a nice catch inside the 20.
Togiai running the shallow cross from the slot route. The big guy, the big explosive guy, delivering that football, allowing him to get up the field. What a good job by Marcus McMarion.
McMarion, pressure coming, has to get rid of it in a hurry. No, the carry takes players with him down to the 10. Collins to run, cuts back for the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon State. Ball came out at the end, but ruled a touchdown right away.
And I love the way offensive coordinator Dave Baldwin elects to stretch the field out in the stretch formation. And all he's trying to do is run that off tackle, but sees a nice little cutback lane and cuts it up the middle and shows his athleticism. The idea is to stretch that play, but he sees a cutback. He's got great vision, the instincts of a running back, and puts that thing in the end zone.
And the extra point is good.
If it's not going to be quarterback, it's going to be somewhere else. He's been a huge asset for him today.
Charles Nelson on the return, slips a tackle. Nelson still going. Brought down from behind. A good saving tackle by Garrett Owens, the kicker.
Well, Charles Nelson, such a dynamic player in the kick return game. Had a big return versus Stanford Cardinal just 2 weeks ago. It was a big game-changing play in that game, but you see his ability once he's in space to turn on the accelerator, and he does that really effectively here. Such a special player for this Oregon team. Fills so many different roles for them.
Vernon Adams throws on the run and completes. Evan Bayless is tight end. Adams over 300 yards passing today, and Freeman gets down to the 36 of Oregon State.
It makes it a lot easier for him to dissect that coverage.
Going for it all, the end zone, and knocked away. Jalen Brown had to play defense.
Both receivers, or excuse me, the DB and the receiver going up to high point that ball. It's a good job by Decoud in getting there. He's
Preston Decoud from Covington, Louisiana. Griffin, who has a touchdown run today, was out of bounds. It would be more lopsided even at this point. Adams in the pocket underneath to Griffin. He gets knocked down around the 22-yard line. They've been averaging, again, 43 points a game during this 5-game win streak. It's Addison who slips out of the tackle, but then 3 more Oregon State defenders are there. And looking to some of his defensive players, Griffin remains the back after a 12-yard loss. A one-handed grab over there by Taz Griffin. He's near a first down.
something they've been accustomed to doing in both the passing and the run game.
And Evan, they're going to go on 4th and a yard. Remember they went last time on 4th and goal from the 2 and did not score. Handoff Freeman, and he'll score!
Well, as we see here, they elected to give it to their feature back, and we have a hole right here that was created maybe by a little bit of a hold by Tyler Johnstone. He was able to get away with it there, create some space for his running back. Once again, when Royce Freeman gets that head of steam going forward, it's difficult to stop him.
It's Aiden Schneider with another successful extra point.
Well, it's exciting to watch these running backs do their thing. Both Freeman, Griffin, James, Benoit, all of them. They don't even have Thomas Tyner on the field, a guy that's still out, been out for the entire season.
Victor Bolden with a spin and thrown down at the 36. On 2nd and 3 for Oregon State. Null gets the first down and a lot more so far today. On the ground, McMarion airing it out. And here comes a flag. He was trying to get to Jordan Villeman.
This is going to be a tough one. Tyree's not playing the football. His eyes have to go back.
Pass interference. Number 3, defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. That's an automatic first down.
6 games at the safety spot. Here's Null, and nowhere to go. And the Ducks swarm him. DeForest Buckner, part of the crowd.
I really like what they're doing here with Ryan Null in the second half, but this time Oregon answers the call. DeForest Buckner coming off his block, making a big play and essentially running into the wall of the Oregon defensive line.
Incomplete.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, number 26 defense. 15-yard penalty. That's an automatic first down.
I thought Charles Nelson got there a little early.
Here's Ryan Null. Knocked out at the 20. Marcus McMarion right on target. Jordan Villeman. McMarion is in for the touchdown.
On the front side. Victor Bolden creating that misdirection. Well blocked on that front side. He's got a barrage of guys out in front of him and just walks into the end zone. Well executed by the Beaver offense.
Garrett Owens, the extra point through the air. And it's only a 10-point game with an onside kick, but it didn't go far enough. And the Ducks will take over. Adams with time. And now he goes down. It's Kyle Pecco with the sack.
Well, Kyle Pecco, a difference maker on this defensive front for the Oregon State Beavers. And he just pushes his way through. And Vernon Adams has to hold on to that ball a little longer than he would have liked.
Can Oregon State, after the failed onside kick, keep this offense from gaining? Adams on the move and goes out around midfield. Griffin at tailback. Fakes to him. Adams is on the move. Here comes a flag. And he's going to throw, and catch made. Charles Nelson for a first down.
Holding, number 62 offense. 10-yard penalty, third down.
That call on Matt Pearson, so it'll negate the first down.
Well, one of the things that happens as your quarterback starts to move around is you can tend to allow guys to get their hands outside the framework of their blocking technique, and in this case, Pearson just holds on for dear life, ends up getting the penalty as his quarterback tries to elude the rush and get out of the pocket.
Need to get all the way inside the 35-yard line for a first down. Adams throws wide open, but bounces the ball to Nelson. Looks like to punt. Make that Matt Wogan. And Victor Bolden is loose. Victor Bolden with a punt return touchdown. 78 yards.
Makes a huge play to make this a one-score game.
Well, they hadn't had to punt today as the extra point goes through. Matt Wogan had never punted in a game before.
Well, as we mentioned, we just don't get enough hang time on this punt. In textbook fashion, you get white shirts all over green shirts. And this is how it's done, allowing Victor Bolden space to get up the field, up the gut of the punt coverage team. And he's off to the races for a big score for this Oregon State football team.
Oregon can talk about that from the earlier portion of the season, but right now their hands full as Royce Freeman gets up towards the 45-yard line with a first down run. Adams pass, caught, but right away. Carrington is tackled by DeCoud.
Here, a three-point game with 9 minutes left.
Charles Nelson with a first down run. It'll turn into that. There is a crazy upset. Right now, the Ducks doing what they do, moving with the football. Pass complete to Carrington, who gets the first down and goes out of bounds. Tosh Griffin gets inside the 5.
And a jet sweep is always going to have to rely on these receivers down the field blocking, which you see from Darren Carrington right there, creating just enough space for him to get outside. You have speed like Tosh Griffin. All you got to do is give him one extra step.
An 18-yard run, and he remains in. Adams, end zone, catch made, touchdown, Braylon Addison.
He finds his receiver wide open. His play action here is important to the flow of the play. Then he comes right back and finds his receiver in the corner of the end zone. It's a well-designed play. The timing of it is perfect. His receiver's wide open in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown.
Schneider on for the extra point, and it's back to a 10-point Oregon lead.
Well, Chris, as referenced earlier, this last play for the touchdown is a well-designed play. It relies on the play action that creates the facade. They're going this way. This receiver's going to come down for a cutoff block and come right back to the corner of the end zone. Fake well carried out by Vernon Adams, and he just comes back and finds Braylon Addison right over in the corner of the end zone. Very, very well-designed play by Scott Frost, the offensive coordinator.
It'll be a touchback, second touchdown pass of the game for Vernon Adams. Marcus McMarion, complete right at the first down marker to Victor Bolden, who had the punt return moments ago of 78 yards. Ryan Nall with a big hole. Can he go all the way? Ryan Nall, outstanding with a touchdown.
As you see here, just a void created in the middle by the tight end coming across, and a missed tackle there by 56. But Ryan Nall showing his speed down the field. Been a difference maker today for the Oregon State offense.
It's back to a 3-point game.
Well, let's go back to the touchdown. They elect to bring the safety down towards the line of scrimmage, creating a void in the middle of the field. And this linebacker here, Rodney Hardrick, gets out of position just enough to leave an even bigger void for Ryan Nall to explode through to the middle. And there is nobody to get their hands on him, and he shows his speed for a big run and a big play to get Oregon State back in this football game.
A short kick, Charles Nelson. And he goes all the way up to the 48-yard line. Seth Collins with 3 touchdown runs for Oregon State. Royce Freeman has 2 and has the football to the 46 when Marcus Mariota had to throw a winning touchdown with 29 seconds left. As Freeman gets loose and gets inside the 30 for a first down.
They got to start wrapping up. As this game goes on, the defense gets tired, and the arm tackles just aren't going to get it done for this Oregon State defense. You've got to wrap a guy like that up.
Carrington with the catch. 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Griffin back in. He has a big hole. Spins and goes down to about the 22-yard line.
But as this game goes on, it's important for Oregon State to tackle. You've got to wrap these guys up, especially Royce Freeman. As difficult as it is, you can't give him extra attempts at getting yards.
Griffin getting the first down inside the 20-yard line and the clock running. Vernon Adams, number 3. Hands off. Griffin knocked down for a loss.
Now playing corner, makes a great play on that tackle in the backfield.
Adams, all kinds of time. Open end zone, touchdown Ducks! It's Addison again. Vernon Adams wears that number 3, just like Russell Wilson wears 3 for the defending NFC champions Seattle Seahawks. Victor Bolden, they're not going to give him a chance, so that's a touchback.
Well, let's go back to that touchdown. As we said before, this line deserves a lot of credit. Now, Oregon State only elects to rush 3. But Vernon Adams moving around, has plenty of time to move around. But the key thing here from this angle, look at those eyes. Look at him continue to look downfield and find open receivers. And from up here, we could see Braylon Addison coming open. It was only a matter of time. So Vernon Adams was able to find him.
From the 25. McMarion, there's a little trickery, and there's Nall with the catch. Seth Collins on the throw, and he has a first down up near midfield. kind of like what we saw in that opening drive where they got everybody involved.
That's the other dangerous element. When you bring the double pass out, you bring another quarterback on the field, you know he has the ability to throw. The receiver does a good job clearing out that space for Ryan Nall, then fills that void, and Seth Collins delivers the ball nicely.
A pickup of 24. McMarion open. He's got another first down. It's Bolden. Time. But he held it too long. It's Buckner with the sack.
But as you'll see here from this high end zone look, he has time to find Watts just in the middle of your screen. Victor Bolden come open there. And if he puts that thing on him as soon as that window opens, that's a big gain.
Oh, the growing pains of a freshman in a rivalry game. It'll be third down. Ball underneath, but short of the first down, goes out of bounds. Reggie Daniels not allowing him to get inside the 30 where they needed to get. Marcus McMarion. In the hands and out of the hands of Victor Bolden.
He had Victor Bolden over the middle of the field, and this thing just comes out a little bit low. Certainly a catchable ball by Victor Bolden. If he brings that in, that's a first down. That's a tough drop.
And he knew it.
That would probably classify as one of the layups that they've missed over the course of the season.
And now the Ducks going for the slam dunk.
Delay game on the defense, using defensive signals to disconcert the offensive signals. 5-yard penalty, second down.
And it was good of you to point out when we talked about the Heisman watch, players like him, Royce Freeman and Vernon Adams, certainly worth mentioning. On a first down, Freeman, who already has over 215 total yards today on the carry. Just over a minute to play. And Freeman will be brought down as the clock continues to run. Vernon Adams, victory formation with 366 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. With Evan Moore, I'm Chris Myers, our entire crew.